Ranveer Singh, Virat Kohli, Malaika Arora, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Shilpa Shetty, Malaika again, this time with Jennifer Lopez. And there are a bunch of others like Deepika Padukone, Hrithik Roshan, Katrina Kaif, Tiger Shroff. Indian celebrities and even celeb investors have been pumping their money in the wellness industry for a few years, and the space is exploding, making for a good career option for those planning right now. According to a report by leading consultant firm, consumers look at wellness in 6 broad categories today: better health, better fitness, better nutrition, better appearance, better sleep, better mindfulness. The report adds that the global wellness industry was worth more than $1.5 trillion in 2021 and expected to grow at 5 to 10% for the foreseeable future. There's even a growing pet wellness industry.
I end up seeing people from America because they're able to afford my fees over their insurance and have able to have access to help and support. Internet has also made information available, coupled with collective suffering in the world. Coupled with people maybe having, say, a little more money to put towards this, like the quality of my life can improve a little bit. Like I don't have to be this alone in this all the time. Like I'll end up seeing someone from like a remote town in Tamil Nadu. So there are so many of these layers of accessibility that make it easier for me to provide support and for them to access support. COVID made telehealth just the norm.
India's participation in the wellness boom is only increasing. The Global Wellness Institute estimated that India's wellness market is worth $77.6 billion in 2020, good for 12th in the world. And another report states that 33% of millennials in India's top 8 cities spend more than 4,000 rupees per month on their health.
What I feel is the way internet and the information have played a major role in everyone's life. I think 18 to 24-year old batch of this time is more exposed. They are more, let's just say, they want to be better. Things are changing very fast. When a lot of things change, people generally want to be centered, and health is something which is picking up in the current ecosystem. That could be one of the reasons.
One of the fastest growing pieces of the wellness industry is biohacking. According to a recent report, the global market for biohacking is expected to hit $63 billion by 2028. And the Indian market for CGMs, a tool that can be used to hack metabolism, health, and weight loss, is poised to grow at around 15% between 2022 and 27. On the opposite end of the science spectrum lies yoga, which too has been growing rapidly worldwide. Current research says that the global yoga market is worth nearly $120 billion and expected to more than double in size by 2032. Apart from just practicing yoga, this includes yoga pants to yoga mats, blocks, straps, and more. The Indian government has taken steps to make sure India stays relevant. The Union Ministry of Ayush, for example, organizes the International Yoga Fest every year since 2016. The 2024 edition alone saw participation from people of 75 different countries. The government also opened 25 Fit India Yoga centers in 9 states to promote the wellness and health benefits of yoga in June 2021. The wild thing is that India was short of 3 lakh yoga instructors even before this yoga explosion. And yoga and biohacking are just parts of the much larger wellness space.
So whatever learnings you have in this kind of role is not just for the job. You do it for life, and if you do it enough, you become a very valuable asset in your friend circle. An average person would want some meaning out of their job, right? It should impact something rather than just some sheets and like shifting numbers. Some people like it. In my circle, many don't. They have very good karmic points for sure.
In the spectrum of fitness, they are trying to incorporate a lot of grounding techniques, sound healing, a lot of art-based work, or a lot of, dance movement that's happening. All of these things we've learned in our books and we've written answers about it. But now everybody can find their own calling and try to upskill in that particular area and actually make a living out of it. So I believe that there is actually no age restrictions in upskilling yourself, but the intention to do it should be coming from a space where you genuinely want to learn it. I also have this additional point that a lot of students who get their degree, they would want to know and learn everything. And that also takes a lot of costs, right? Like you have to pay a lot for getting that certification and everything. But you're doing it just to add that into your page or into your resume. You're not learning it because you want to practice it. So I would just say that if you're planning to upskill yourself, you should definitely find a therapy, a skill, expertise which you think you connect well with.
If you're able to upskill or get a wellness related degree, you might not make tech money, but it's a pretty gig. In India, the average salary of a wellness manager at corporates is 7.8 lakh rupees a year. In the US, the average is around $64,000, going up to $100,000 a year in some cases. And this is just the start in the corporate space. A 2022 Deloitte study found that Indian companies were losing $14 billion a year due to the poor mental health of their employees. That's a lot of money, and corporations aren't in the business of losing money. So they're hiring people to raise employee well-being. And this is just one role with potential. There are lots of varied jobs requiring varied skills. There are health coaches, wellness coordinators, a personal trainer, a nutritionist, and many, many more. From the introduction to healthcare administration, behavioral health, to contemporary health and wellness. The UK, Canada, and others have many too. And the most interesting part is job satisfaction. According to a recent study, a job in fitness just feels better than other jobs because you're helping others feel good and making money doing it.